From WFRV Local 5, your local election headquarters. This is Newsmaker Sunday.
Good morning. Welcome to Newsmaker Sunday. I'm Tom Zalaski. With the resignation of Congressman Mike Gallagher, Wisconsin's 8th congressional district seat is open. There are 4 announced candidates for the job. On the Republican side, State Senator Andre Jacques, former state senator and former candidate for Lieutenant Governor Roger Roth, and Green Bay businessman Tony Weed. On the Democratic side, the sole candidate is Dr. Kristen Lyerly. Newsmaker Sunday has extended an invitation to all 4 candidates to appear on the program, and joining us this morning is the aforementioned sole Democratic candidate, Dr. Kristen Lyerly. Doctor, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. Before we get into the nuts and bolts and the politics of all of this, for those people who may not be completely aware of you and your background, who is Kristen Lyerly, who's running for our 8th congressional district seat?
Kristen Lyerly is a mom of 4 boys. Mm-hmm. She's a 6th generation Wisconsinite who grew up here in the district. I was born and raised in Kaukauna. Actually, my family's been here, like I said, 6 generations. There's a town in Calumet County just south of Chilton named after my great-great-great-grandfather, Charlesburg. So my family are farmers, and they worked in the paper mill, and they're all still here, except one cousin who lives in the UP. Another thing about me is I'm a physician.
Right.
I'm an OBGYN doctor. And that's a big part of the reason that I chose to run, because it's getting increasingly harder for my patients to get the care that they need.
You are not a newcomer to politics. Mm-hmm. In 2020, you ran for state assembly in the 88th district. You lost to John Mocco, close one, 52-48. Did that campaign in any way help you prepare for what's ahead in this campaign?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah?
That campaign was never about the seat. It was always about how can I be as effective as possible. And I ran because of COVID. So I'm a doctor. And in April of 2020, do you remember what it was like? Early time COVID, where we didn't know if masks worked. We didn't know how far apart we had to stand from each other. And we were sent to the polls. We had to vote. It wasn't safe. There were only 2 polling places that were open in Green Bay out of the 35 polling places that are usually open. Right. It was really scary for all of us. But people stood in line because they knew that their voices were important. Mm-hmm. And that inspired me to say, how can I be part of the solution here? As a physician, it was my obligation to get involved in politics.
Because at that time, the headline wasn't Roe versus Wade.
No.
No.
We didn't even talk about abortion at that time. We didn't talk about reproductive health. We were focused on COVID. We were focused on jobs. We were focused on just getting through our daily routine. Kids weren't in school. It was so hard. Things are very different now.
Let me get your perspective on the seat that you're hoping to fill. Mm-hmm. Congressman Mike Gallagher announced in early February he wasn't seeking the 5th term.
Right.
And when asked why, he said electoral politics was never supposed to be a career. And yet he said, I'm leaving with a heavy heart.
Yeah.
Why do you think Gallagher decided not to go for that 5th term?
I think that Mike Gallagher is an old-fashioned statesman. I think he is the kind of fella, very popular in the district. It doesn't matter if you tend to vote Republican or Democrat. Yeah. Everybody appreciated Mike Gallagher because he was never afraid to speak his mind. He stood up on January 6th. He stood up when he felt like the impeachment of Mayorkas wasn't the right thing. And because of that, he got pressure from the extremist parts of his party to get in line and to do the things that the mega extremists require him to do. That is not Mike Gallagher. That is not how the conservatives and the Republicans traditionally in this district are. So I think that my guess is that he saw that there wasn't a path for him. And there was also danger. He had talked about death threats, and his house was swatted. His family was in peril, literally. So I am betting that he was putting his family first, and also probably holding out hope for maybe a future in politics once this extreme partisanism is gone.
Then not only was the announcement a bombshell that he was not rerunning, but then a month and a half later came the announcement that he's flat out resigning.
Yeah.
How did you view that? Did you view that as a slap in the face to his party? Why the resignation? Why didn't he complete the term?
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
I suspect that it was because of the threats that he received. I suspect that it was for family reasons. It's got to be really scary to be in a situation where the police are surrounding your house because someone has called in a threat and you have a young family with young kids. I would do the same.
So this time around, what was the main trigger that made you decide to run?
We've been doing a lot of work since my assembly campaign.
Yeah.
We focused on fair maps and crushing the gerrymander here in Wisconsin, and we were able to get that accomplished. We were able to get some Supreme Court justices elected who really spoke to the voice of the people. We were able to re-elect Governor Evers by what he calls a landslide. All of those things tell me that Wisconsinites want something different. Wisconsinites don't want us to play politics as usual. Wisconsinites want a representative who actually understands them, who hears them, and who will go to battle for them in Washington, and that's me.
Even if Mike Gallagher had not resigned, had you intended on running and running against him?
I was going to be part of it. A year ago, I definitely floated the idea, and we knew it would be a tough uphill battle because Mike Gallagher is so popular. Yeah. I just want to be part of the solution, Tom. Ultimately, for me as an OBGYN doctor, I love my job. I love hearing those stories from my patients. I love helping them find the solutions that they need to solve their problems. It's just the same thing, but on a different level.
Our guest this morning, Dr. Kristen Lyerly, and we are right back with more right after this, so please stay with us. Back now with congressional candidate Dr. Kristen Lyerly running for Wisconsin's 8th Congressional District. Doctor, initially there were three Democratic candidates who were running for the spot. You had Alicia Saunders, our former Channel 5 News director, Kelly Peterson.
She's great.
She was part of the three. And you touched base with each other. You kind of knew each other. How did it transpire that you all decided, okay, Dr. Lyerly, you're going to be the candidate?
It is the coolest thing, Tom.
Yeah?
Because as we started to see that we were going to have all of these competitive seats in the Assembly and in the Senate, and the three of us, Alicia, Kelly, and I, all came together and said, we want to be part of, we all want to run for this congressional seat because we want to be part of the solution. But then the other seats all became available and other candidates started to come forward, and we created this deep bench. And once all of the districts became clear, people just found their district and found their place where they belonged. And between Alicia, Kelly, and I, Alicia decided to run for Assembly District 2. Kelly is now running for Senate District 2. And here I am running for Congress. But we continue to work together in an effort that we've called Women Win Wisconsin. Here in Brown County, and actually across the 8th Congressional District, we have more women running than men. More women are running than men. That is unprecedented.
I asked you earlier in the show about your background. You were already a mother when you decided to go to medical school?
That's right.
How did you pull that off?
Well, I'm a mom.
I mean,
that's what we do.
You hear horror stories about medical school in and of itself, let alone with kids.
Oh, yeah, and residency is no joke.
Yeah.
I started my OBGYN residency with 4 kids under 10, 4 boys under 10. Yeah. So it was a lot of scrambling. I had an incredibly supportive, wonderful partner in my ex-husband, James. We had great child care helpers and amazing neighbors. So it was that sense of big community coming in to help each other out. And that's what we do here in Wisconsin, is we help each other out. We're all like a big family. We have our differences, but we resolve them because ultimately we want what's best for each other.
And did that experience give you some sort of empathy for other women who are trying to make it out of wherever they are?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I grew up, my dad died when I was young, when I was 11, from complications of alcoholism. And it was a very challenging childhood. My mom, who couldn't have a bank account when I was a young kid, people don't understand that women didn't have a lot of rights even as late as the 70s. It was 1972 before women had the right to get birth control legally. So things have really changed a lot in the last 50 years. It's been tough for women, but we've made a lot of headway over time. Now, though, we're looking at turning back the clock. We've lost the ability to make our own decisions about our health care, and we're even looking at the potential to lose access to contraception, to birth control.
Right.
It's shocking.
You are partial to rural health care.
I am.
underrepresented communities, to the point that you travel to places like Minnesota, Arizona. What's the purpose of those visits?
Well, I am on the Attorney General's lawsuit here in Wisconsin that brought abortion care back to the state. This is the law from 1849 that prevented doctors from providing care for any reason with the exception of the life of the mother. It really devastated our women's health community. And it was, my role is always to be as effective as possible. And at that point, it was my job to stand up for my patients and their families. But because of that, I became a target. And there were attacks against my medical license. And so I decided to start providing care in northern Minnesota, southwestern Minnesota, and then on the Navajo Reservation in northern Arizona. And Tom, there is such a crisis in rural healthcare right now. Our populations in rural areas are aging and requiring more contact with healthcare, which is increasingly more difficult to receive. We are having a difficult time finding nurses and doctors to go out there. The cost of care continues to rise. Over 40% of people in this country have medical debt. 40% in the wealthiest nation on earth. We have the most expensive healthcare system and the worst outcomes, especially for moms and babies. We have to do better.
Your first reaction when that Supreme Court decision came down, did you expect it? Did you think it was coming that way?
Oh yeah, we all expected it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, the leak came out in May.
Right.
And I remember being in my kitchen and my boys were all there. And I said, guys, this is terrible. And they said, we know, Mom, and we're with you. And for 4 young men, they range from 15 to 25, so they're not kids anymore. I just felt so, it was so validating to know that it wasn't just women who cared about this. I saw this at the Brown County Breakfast on the Farm. I was having a conversation with some young men and they recognized me, and one of the men said, I know you have a tough job because my wife and we've struggled with some fertility issues, and I just want to thank you for the work that you do. This isn't just a women issue. This is women and families and whole communities. We all need access to health care.
Yep. Our guest, Dr. Kristen Lyerly, running for 8th District Congressional seat, and we are back with much more right after this, so please stay right there. Our guest this morning, 8th Congressional District candidate, Dr. Kristen Lyerly. How much of a factor do you think the abortion issue is going to have in our November 2024 election?
I think it's difficult to know.
Yeah.
I think nationally we think it's going to have a big impact, but I think here in the district, and maybe this is just because I'm a doctor and I actually sit in the exam rooms and take care of my patients, I think that these are a lot of conversations that we're having in quiet, private spaces. So I don't know that the polling is going to be accurate. I think ultimately what it comes down to is all of us will be reflecting on who we want to make our most personal medical decisions, whether it's pregnancy related or a cancer diagnosis or preventive care. We want to be in charge of our own health care.
On your website, you say that doctors' roles have been jeopardized by extreme politicians who think they know better than the professionals. What did you mean there?
When you look at some of these laws that have been written, a great example is a number on an abortion ban. 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 15 weeks. What does that actually mean in the political realm? Because to me, as a physician, I'm just trying to take care of my patient. And the difference between 5 weeks and 6 days and 6 weeks is arbitrary. Ultimately, if my patient has a problem, I want her to know what all of her options are so that we can find solutions so that she can make her own decisions and live her life.
Something else on your website, and a quote from you. MAGA extremism is not in line with Wisconsinites' personal values. What did you mean there?
We are so divided right now on both sides. But the MAGA extremism that we see here is making us uncomfortable. It's likely the reason that Congressman Gallagher stepped down. Wisconsinites don't want this division. Wisconsinites aren't red or blue. We're green and gold, right? We meet in the middle. We feel moderate. We want to solve problems. We want to be able to live our lives and put gas in our car and groceries on our table. Those are the things that we care about.
And beside abortion, which is a big issue for you, you also point to the need for access to reproductive care, maternity care, mental health support. Are we lacking in access to all those things?
Desperately.
Yeah?
Desperately.
Why? In what way? I mean, it seems like, I see 5 hospitals around here.
Yeah. Here, we're in Green Bay. This is a high resource area, but there are many people who don't have access. They don't have health insurance. They don't have money to pay for their care. Our care is very expensive. Yep. If you live in a rural area, say you live in Oconto County or Shawano County, maybe you don't have a provider in the region that can provide you with the services that you need. Maybe you don't have the money to put gas in your car to get to the office so you can get the care that you need. Care is sorely lacking, and we have to do better on a number of different levels, whether it's actually getting the providers to those places, delivering telemedicine using technology, or finding other solutions. We've got to do better for the people of Wisconsin.
And you also point to mental health care. In what way? What do we need there?
Oh, we need so much more. We're seeing mental health crises, depression, anxiety. The levels are rising, especially in younger people. And I really think when I think about mental health, I think about veterans. I think about how 22 veterans a day commit suicide. These are people who served our country, who stepped up to protect us. My own cousin committed suicide. He's a veteran just a few months ago because he couldn't get the care that he needed. We have in many ways failed our veterans and left many of these efforts to nonprofits when truly this is a role for government intervention. This is a role for us to come together and support the people who are supporting us.
We are back to wrap up with Dr. Kristen Lyerly right after this, so please stay with us. Back now with Dr. Kristen Lyerly running for the 8th Congressional District seat. You know right now a lot of dysfunction going on in Congress. It seems the Republican side of things in the House is being run by a small minority. You know who they are, the Marjorie Taylor Greenes, Lauren Boebert, Jim Jordan, Matt Gaetz. What, if elected, could you do to bring some sense of normalcy back to that body?
We're going to have to find common ground, Tom. There's no other way around it. And that is something that I'm great at. I actually participated in an organization where we brought together people who are on opposite sides of the abortion issue. I mean, talk about a tough issue. And we put our heads together and we came up with solutions, and we weren't able to agree on the abortion issue itself, but we were able to agree on many things around it, like education and supporting families and other things that make a difference in people's lives. Common ground is there. We just have to look for it.
And there will be issues that you're going to have to deal with beside healthcare issues.
Of course.
Do you feel as though you have to really get up to speed on a lot of these world issues, the Israel and Ukraine and Putin and everything else that you will have to face when you get in there?
I don't think so. These are things that, I'm following along. I'm paying attention. I have opinions. As a member of Congress, you have to be familiar with all of these things, but you also have to recognize where your area of expertise is. Obviously, that's healthcare. And you have to turn to the experts in these other areas and rely on their areas of expertise. So that's my plan.
You talk areas of expertise. If you were to be elected to Congress, have you thought about what committees you would like to be assigned to?
Well, of course, the big ones with all the dollars.
Yeah.
That would be great. But I think realistically, as a freshman, you start on some of the lower committees and you work your way up. So I'm willing to be patient because I think it's about building relationships. It's about, again, finding that common ground and figuring out where those opportunities are and just continuing to grow and make a difference, solve problems for the people of Northeast Wisconsin.
You talk build relationships. Have we reached a point where we are in a state of tribalism where if it's your idea, it's not a good idea, and I won't go along with it?
I think we've been that way in Wisconsin for a while, but I think that that's part of the reason that we've seen this progressive change over the last few years. The people of Wisconsin don't like it. They know it does not reflect our values, and they want something different. And that's why they voted for something different. We're going to get something different in November. We'll continue to work for the people of Wisconsin, the people of the United States, to reflect the values of our communities.
So your pitch to our voters as we wrap up here as to why Dr. Kristen Lyerly should be the next 8th Congressional District person from Wisconsin.
I am a Northeastern Wisconsinite, born and bred. I care deeply about this district. I'm a mom. I have 4 sons who all grew up in this district, who all are involved and have different ideas and have taught me so many different things from different perspectives. And I'm a physician who has the privilege of hearing stories from many, many different people and helping them solve their problems. I'm a problem solver. I'm someone who can find middle ground, and I'm exactly the prescription that the people of Wisconsin need.
What's top of mind if you were to get in first day?
But of course, making sure that we have national protection for reproductive health care, abortion, contraception. Here in 2024, contraception is on the line, so that's critical. But also fixing Medicare. Medicare is very broken. People can't access care, they can't afford care. And then once we've got those 2 things solved, we're going to go for health care.
All right, Dr. Kristen Lyerly, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you, Tom.
Much appreciated. And if you have someone that you think ought to be on our Newsmaker program, just let us know about it. Send us an email to tips@wearegreenbay.com, or you can message us on Facebook. And be sure to join us once again Sunday morning at 7:30. Until then, have a great day.